Well, welcome everybody to the online program for the alumni of the Sunshine Coast Health Center up here in Powell River, BC. And this time, I think we'll spend a few minutes talking about taking action in recovery. Even today, it's raining out, right? And not everybody, but a lot of the guys are moping about, right? Complaining about the rain, right? And that's typical, right? Everybody complains about the rain, but no one ever does anything about it. So that's an old joke, but it's that idea, right? Is this idea of action. Maybe, well, a lot of people think it's the key to recovery. So I brought along some of the, here's some quotations from some pretty famous people, okay? This is how important action is. So the great psychiatrist Irving Yalom, we've talked about him before in the online program. And he says, in order to change, one must first assume responsibility. That's like being the author of your life. One must commit oneself to action. And we've talked before quite a bit about the great psychiatrist Viktor Frankl. And here's what he says. How can we learn to know ourselves? Never by reflection, but by action. Right? So action is very important. And Paul Wong, the psychologist whose work a great deal of our program is based on, tells us that reflecting on things, thinking about things, learning about things are useless if they don't put them into action. Right? So this idea of action is very important. Now, some people in recovery really struggle taking action. We've had a few clients here over the years, and it's really remarkable that it's almost like they've gone out of their way to create this story of themselves that really prevents them from actually doing anything. So for example, and again, we've talked about some of the struggles our clients have had here before, is if someone's trying to figure out, well, what should I do with my life? Should I go to school or not go to school? And if I go to school, well, what course should I take? You know, because I wasted a lot of time in recovery or in active addiction, right? And, you know, I may sign up to become a biologist, do 4 years of school, and find out I hate it. So I've just lost another 4 years of my life. And I can't stand the thought of that, right? And so they, I mean, one fellow, he had a notebook, right? Pros and cons of going to school, right? And it was going on for like pages and pages. And I asked him, like, how long has he been thinking about going to school? And apparently for years. But that's all he does, is he thinks about going to school. Doesn't actually do anything, doesn't pick up the phone and phone the school, doesn't fill out any paperwork, doesn't get himself registered. He just thinks about it, right? And this kind of thing is this thinking part, and reflecting on things but not taking action. This can backfire in recovery because basically nothing ever gets done. And so I think it's important for us to spend some time understanding this idea of taking action, because it's not all roses and easy to do, right? And sometimes people take action specifically and very deliberately to sort of hide from themselves. So action can be a very bad thing. At any rate, there's all sorts of little details about action that we'll spend some time with in this month's online program. So we'll see you in a week with some more details on this.